my channel. I'm Rachel, the owner and creator here at the Eclectic Cottage in Spokane, Washington. Today is Wednesday, and for today's video, I have kind of a half and half for you guys. Half thrift flip, half thrift haul. My first project is going to be kind of a continuation of my last video. It was a project that I'd started that I wanted to put with the others that I just didn't get done in time. So the first part of the video will be that project, kind of finishing up some more transfer bits and pieces. And then the second half of the video is going to be a miniature thrift haul. My husband and I went on a junk run on Sunday. We did find a few things, but just not a lot. And I didn't want to hold on to them until I had a chance to go on another junk run. So I'm going to go ahead and show them to you today. So that will be the second half of the video. Anyway, without further ado, let's get to the project that I finished for today's video. My project for today is to try to transform this kind of ugly little plain wooden box into something more beautiful. And it looked like somebody had oversprayed some sort of white textured paint onto it. So I am starting with some 150 grit sandpaper, and I'm not trying to get all the white paint off. I'm just trying to remove the texture to get it a little bit more smooth. Once I was finished with the sanding, I rinsed it off in my sink really well, let it dry, and then I'm going in with a couple coats of DIY paint in the color Apothecary. Apothecary is definitely one of my favorite colors by DIY, and one of the things I love about this paint is that it is so thick and highly pigmented that I almost didn't even need a second coat to go over this black color. One of the other nice things about this paint is that it is water-based. So when you go to put your second coat down, if you don't want it to pull and you want to kind of alleviate some of the brushstroke marks, you can use a water mister bottle and just lightly mist your paint, and that will help your second coat to go on more smoothly. Now, it was while I was painting the outside of this box that I came up with the idea to add a little bit of a detail to the top of it. And for that, I grabbed out this gorgeous stencil by Redesign with Prima. This one's called Chapelle Royale. And I chose to use just the top portion of it. So I measured my box top to make sure I was centered. And then I used a little bit of blue tape to keep my stencil in place. And then I grabbed my scraper and just regular old spackle, and I smoothed some of that spackle out over the stencil. This created a beautiful raised detail on the top of my box, and I just love the way that this kind of added some personality to the top of my project. Once the spackle was completely dry, I went ahead and painted over it with a coat of the Apothecary paint. Then it was time to move on to decorating the inside portion of my box. For that, I am using up the rest of these little transfers that I've had sitting around in a drawer for a while. This is from the Tiny Flowers transfer set by Redesign with Prima. I started by cutting out all of the little pieces, and then I took some time to arrange them in the bottom of the box the way I thought I would want to have them placed. Once I figured out my arrangement, I started applying them, the tallest ones first, and then just kind of working my way down from there. And I'm just laying them down where I want them, rubbing them in with either my transfer stick or in some cases my thumbnail, because it was a little easier to get my hand in there. And as I do that, I'm removing that piece of vellum. These went down relatively quickly, and I love the way that these tiny flowers look like a little garden in the back of this box. Once I had all of my flowers placed down and burnished in, it was time to go ahead and seal my paint. Now, as I've mentioned before, DIY paint, since it is clay-based, can be reactivated with water, so you always want to make sure and seal it. My go-to sealer is, of course, the waxes by DIY, and for this one, I am starting with a coat of DIY's clear wax. Now, I had a little bit of a difficult time trying to get my bigger brush into the very corners, so I'm using a little artist brush to just spread that wax into all of those little nooks and crannies. Once I have a good, thin, even coat of the clear wax all over, I'm just taking a dry shop towel and rubbing back the excess wax. Once I was finished with the clear wax, to bring out that beautiful detail on the top a little bit more, I went over the entire piece with a coat of DIY's white wax. So I'm doing the same thing here, just rubbing that white wax on with my brush and then very gently wiping back the excess. I left a little bit extra in the detail just so that it really brought out all of the detail in it. And then I moved on to finishing up the rest of the box. Now, in all honesty, I could have called this project finished here and it would have been just fine and super cute just as it is. However, when I first saw this box on the shelf at Goodwill, I knew I wanted to use it to create some sort of a little shadow box. And so that's what I'm doing here. I had these nests that I'd picked up at Hobby Lobby. I had some birds, and I thought I would make a really cute little spring shadow box with this project. So I'm putting down a layer of Spanish moss first. That's basically just to help keep the nest in place and give it a little bit more texture. Once I had the Spanish moss glued down really well and my nest in place, I went ahead and cut the excess Spanish moss that was kind of hanging over the edge. And as a final touch, I added in this cute little spring bird. I'm really happy with how this project came together, and I hope you guys like it as much as I do. So here we are back in my kitchen for the mini thrift haul portion of today's video. I wanted to kind of throw this in with the projects that I did just so that I could get to work on a few of these pieces, honestly, and not have to wait to show them to you next week. So especially this guy, and I'll show that to you in just a second. So without further ado, I'm just going to jump right in here. So we found this one at one of the Goodwills. I'm not sure if it's Fenton or not, but I love hobnail milk glass. It was only $3.99, so I went ahead and grabbed it. Now, I'm not thrilled about having to store this until Christmas, but I couldn't pass it up. I love this kind of natural look of the tree, and it was only $4.99, so I went ahead and grabbed it. It needs a bath, but I'll wait and do that till closer to Christmas time, and then just put it out with my Christmas displays. And of course, this little pumpkin was super, super cute. It's really heavy, honestly. I just thought it was really pretty. It caught my eye from across the aisle, and so I had to have it. And this one was only $3.99. And to me, it's always best to buy these off season when they haven't marked up the price a whole bunch. So I'd rather do that and store it than have to pay $9.99 for it in the future. So I found bunnies, and these are some of the things I'm kind of excited to do something with. This little stack of rabbits was $5.99. These were at the Value Village. So they're just little, you know, wooden forms. They're cute. These two kind of go together, and then there's this little bigger one. Perfect for some decoupage paper, little ribbon, just something cute for Easter. This one of them has a little bit of damage right here, but I'm going to sand it and paint it. You will never know. So again, I just thought they were cute. And then this stack was $2.99. These ones somebody took the time to hand paint, and they're honestly pretty darn cute just the way they are. The only thing is the Spanish moss has definitely seen better days, and so these will probably get sanded clean and repainted, and I'll do something a little bit different with them. But for $2.99, I couldn't pass them up. Then this I thought was super adorable. It's a little step stool, $6.99. It's got kind of a slick finish on it, so I'm not sure if it's solid wood or if it's some sort of an acrylic or whatever, but I just thought it was cute. I honestly even like the theme. It's pretty adorable for Easter time. It says hippity hop, in the garden we go. However, it's a little worn, and there's definitely some different marks on it, so I'm going to paint it and do something a little different with it. But I thought it was a great project piece, and this will be cute in a vignette with some different things on it for layering. My husband found me a copper teapot. I sold my last one a little while back, and I haven't seen any in the thrift stores in a while. This was $3.99. It was in a weird aisle. I think this was in with like the man stuff, the camping gear and stuff. So somebody had put it in the wrong place. Usually I find these in the middle aisle, but whatever. I was just glad to find it. I always love my little copper tea kettles, and like I said, it was $3.99. This little thing I just thought was cute potential for a project. It's got another little box inside of it. Something fun to paint and maybe put a transfer or a stencil or some decoupage paper. So it'll be a cute little project piece at some point. And it was $2.99. And then we found this painting. I just fell in love with it. It's got a nice oak frame to it. It was only $4.99. I don't think, it's not a gallery matted piece, but it's in really, really good shape. I love the picture itself. I even like the matte color. I will probably change the frame, the color anyway, but for $4.99, I just couldn't pass it up. I thought it was so pretty. This thing was $5.99. I love this fresh cut flowers sign. The only thing for me is the aluminum or the galvanized metal gets a little lost on the white background. So chances are they're all attached with little bitty screws, which are going to be super fun to take all of them out so that I can disassemble this and probably paint the background a different color. I might even paint the galvanized metal, maybe not all of it, but some of it, just to make it stand out a little bit more. But I love all the pieces and parts of it, so I will keep that and then just kind of work on color and recreate this a little bit. So I was excited for $5.99. And then lastly but not leastly, I found these two guys. These are metal, big, tall metal candle holders. This one was $7.99. This one was $5.99. They've got some chipping in the paint. It looks like somebody might have spray painted these or whatever. They definitely could use a little upcycle or updo. I'm not sure exactly yet what I'm going to do with them, but you know, DIY paint sticks just perfectly fine to metal. So these will probably at some point get a paint job and get put out on the floor. But I loved the height of these for decor pieces, and they don't have those big metal pokey things in them, which is awesome. So they were a great find. Well, that is it from here for today, you guys. I hope you liked my little half and half video. What did you think of the shadow box? I hope you guys like how that came together. I was honestly pretty happy with it. I think it'll be perfect for spring. And then what did you guys think of the thrift haul? Did you have a favorite item in there? I am really, really excited about that little stair step thing. I'm got kind of a couple ideas in my head of what I want to do with it, so I can hardly wait to get started on it. So stay tuned, it'll definitely be in a future video. Anyway, if you did enjoy today's video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. I so appreciate that. And if you haven't already, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel and then just hit that little notification bell so you don't miss anything. And then of course, don't forget to comment below. Let me know, what did you think of my little shadow box project? And if you had a favorite item in my thrift haul. Just a quick reminder too, the paint products you see me use can be purchased through me at my website, and that is www.theeclecticcottagespokane.com. It's listed below in the description box. I carry DIY paint and products, as well as Sweet Pickins milk paint and products, some Royale Treasures decoupage papers, and of course some Redesign with Prima. So check those out there. And then for Saturday's video, definitely going to be some more thrift flips. I'm really hoping to work that little stair thing in. So we'll see, fingers crossed. Anyway, I hope you'll join me back here for that. Until then, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week and beginning of the weekend. And I'll see you back here on Saturday. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. Bye.